No one saw this coming from the Boston Celtics, and they just proved everyone wrong, all with the bright lights on Luke Kornet. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The backup big came up huge for the Boston Celtics in tonight's performance, along Jaylen Brown and Derrick White, bouncing back from the Jayson Tatum injury and not turning over just yet at home at TD Garden. And we're going to dive in and explore this fantastic performance that the Boston Celtics just put on display with these three great guys. And Luke Kornet really earned himself, not just in the Boston Celtics sphere, a big publication, but around the NBA. Welcome back to Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Veliz with my co-host Patrick Billings. And Patrick, what an exciting game today to witness. We broke it down at the live stream earlier today, giving our predictions, and the Celtics came through for us.
I am fired up, Bruce. I'm like holding myself back from a lot of energy right now. And this team brought some fire into my heart. And God, I can't wait for game 6.
I can't wait either. It's going to be an absolute roller coaster getting there. We're going to be breaking down everything that happened in today's game. So let's dive into it, Patrick. Make sure to grab that snack. And JT, this is for you. Exactly how you do it, Patrick. Patrick, I see you flapping your JT jersey. Let's go. I got my Banner 18 Pete Rogers jersey on. We are amped up, and they did exactly that. Post-game, Joe Mazzulla talked about that, and I'm sure there's going to be more comments as we're recording and later in the night talking about the appreciation and how much they really wanted to come together for JT. But it was those three guys mainly that came together to do that dominance, right, Patrick? If we want to dive in, we want to look at this. As we can see, the Celtics 127-102 win versus the New York Knicks, and as you can see, it was a pure dominance from the offensive floor, and one man made himself known tonight, Luke Kornet, as people are dubbing it the Luke Kornet game. 10 points, 9 rebounds, 7 blocks, and 100% from the free throw field. Patrick, we see that in Celtics history, he is now tied with Kendrick Perkins and Robert Parrish. This man is on a $2 million contract, and he is doing stuff like this every single time for Boston.
This guy brings all the energy that is needed for this Boston Celtics team. We saw Sam Hauser. They're always saying Luke, but he's like, no, you guys got to start barking for this guy. So
Yes.
I'll start barking for him during the game. I'm barking all game for this guy if he's going to bring this energy all day long. We needed those rebounds, Bruce. We talked about this in the live stream. And, man, that paint was crowded all night long with everybody, not just Luke Kornet, but everybody. I mean, I really thought he was going to get a triple-double tonight with how many blocks he was getting.
It was absolutely insane, and he was coming in left and right with those blocks on smaller guys, on those bigger guys as well. But not just that, he had the reverse little alley-oop as well, doing crazy things on the offensive side, and he was doing that fantastically for the Boston Celtics crowd. You mentioned the barking. It was loud and clear in TD Garden. And everyone, drop down your barks down below in the comment section for Luke Kornet, because he was absolutely deserving of this performance. And I can't wait for him to get those flowers from this Boston Celtics team. No one saw, right, Luke Kornet, the big backup big, to really take over for this team. They expected Porziņģis to really step up in this starting lineup, filling in for Jayson Tatum, and that was not the case.
I mean, he's just playing like Shaquille O'Neal. That's what me and my boys like to call him. We call him Shaq because he's down low, getting all these blocks. He's putting down some nasty dunks. He's just doing all the dirty work down low, and that's what he loves to do. He doesn't shoot those threes that I've been wanting to do all season long. But, man, I'll take a game like this any day of the week because he totally changed the game, especially with Porziņģis not being able to get back on the court, as we got some news as well. But that'll be talked about at a later time, of course, because these three guys need to be talked about because they really saved the Celtics season tonight. And this is the type of Celtics that we wanted to see. In the live stream, if you guys didn't catch that, go ahead and watch it back. You can go see everything that we predicted. And we talked about what is this team going to be and who are they as a whole without Jayson Tatum. And this is the team that we get. Bruce, the Knicks got something coming, and this is what they're going to see in MSG in Game 6. And, I mean, they are not going to be happy with what they saw if this is going to come again in Game 6.
Oh, I completely agree. These vengeance Celtics are coming out hungry for Jayson Tatum, and we're going to see that continue. One last note on Luke Kornet and his fantastic performance. None of those other pictures had it, but a plus 20 for the man at the backup center, specifically when the Celtics were struggling with Porziņģis in that first half. It was clear that he was that game changer. But there were also some other players as well that had an absolute master class for this Boston Celtics team. Jaylen Brown took on that carrying bag, put the backpack on, and was ready to go to work, attacking the paint. But not only just do that, playing fantastic defense, a career high in assists at 12 with only 2 turnovers, something that Jaylen Brown is considerably critiqued on. Absolutely fantastic gameplay, putting himself into some great categories as well with Bob Cousy, John Havlicek, and Larry Bird in this Celtics tandem.
This is the type of game that we wanted from Jaylen Brown. I mean, we thought it would have been a 40-point game, but I'll take a close triple-double, 2 turnovers. You take that all game long, and you got a lot of other guys shooting the ball really well, being able to actually shoot 50% for the field. I'm not sure if that's what they ended at. I know they were shooting 51% late in the fourth, but I mean, man, he gets to that elbow, it's butter. It's like some prime Sean Livingston. He puts his head down, he knows where his spot's at, pulls right up, hits it every single time. That's what I talked about with his knee injury. He was settling for a lot of shots instead of getting to the shots that he knows that he's going to make, and that's getting to the rack with his dominant hand, of course, or getting to that elbow. And that's exactly what he did tonight, and because he knew he had to do it. He had to go and do what he does all day long. And I mean, when he's playing like this, the Celtics look unstoppable.
100%. He showed up for all those haters. He rose to that occasion and really took command of it like he was with that Finals MVP, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Patrick, I don't know if you saw me on Twitter. I was calling out all the people that were hating on Jaylen Brown before going to this game. Some people even responded back. But yeah, there were a lot of people that were turning their backs on Jaylen Brown way too early, making him that scapegoat. And I'm glad those people got what they heard in response. But not only making those plays on the offensive side, Patrick, but defensively, we saw this from Tomek Korolowski. There's some fantastic Celtics clips and highlights. But Jaylen Brown made that great vertical play, that diving play to keep the possession alive. You mentioned on offense, he was attacking those guys, really trying to get to his spots, and that he had that one wide open 3 where he took his time. They completely sagged off, bringing me back to those Warrior games from the last year where he just had that wide open 3, and it was cash. Love to see it from our boy JB.
A lot of Tommy points for JB tonight. And you talk about the 3. There was one that he had in the corner, passed it up, went to the rack, dish it down to Jrue. I mean, that is just smart basketball and winning basketball. That is the difference instead of just settling for all these threes that hurt them in those first 2 games, like that third quarter where they shot 20 shots, 19 of them being a 3-point ball. And that's just a game changer as well because you know how well the Celtics shoot from the 3-point line, and that is their identity. But the fact that they could show that they can knock it down and give a little bit of a pump fake because you expect them to put it up and then get into the paint and get a hard bucket, that's the type of basketball you need to play to win tough playoff games, especially at home. And they're going to need to do that again on the road that they have been so successful all season long in doing.
Yeah, I completely agree. And we're going to see those road dogs once again come out going into New York. And finally, one last player we got to give some light to is Derrick White. As man, oh man, 30 points in the third quarter. Obviously quieted down a little bit going into the later part. But man, oh man, was he on fire, hitting those threes, keeping this Celtics team alive. Patrick, we talked about in that live stream about multiple things. But one thing we both said was this team needs to get onto a hot start, right? And it was not as hot as we would have liked, I think. It was kind of going back and forth. But Derrick White was that main engine to keep the Celtics going and to build those other guys to really come up to when they were needed to make their matters most and care. And we saw that with Luke Cornett. We saw that with Jaylen Brown. And I think Derrick White was one of those key responsive guys to really bring that up. And we see this tweet here. In games without Jayson Tatum, there's been 10 games this season or 11 games now, 12 without Jayson Tatum so far, which is just crazy to think about. But look at these averages. 27.5, 7.2, 4.1 on 59% true shooting for Jaylen Brown. And Derrick White averaging 18.4, 4 and 5.5 on 58.3% true percent shooting, You can tell that these guys know when they need to show up, they are ready to go. And that's not just staying with the stay ready guys at the bench unit, not with just Al Horford and Kristaps Porziņģis when they need to make their moments, but even with guys like Jaylen Brown and Derrick White who need to take over when their star, Jayson Tatum, is out.
Especially that first quarter, Derrick White getting off to a hot start. That's what I said in the live stream. What they needed to do was get off to a hot start and bring the fans back and get them believing in this team as well, like they believe in that locker room. And Derrick White was the one to start that like he does in many games that he gets all these open threes to start the game, starting what, 4 for 4, 5 for 5 from the field. Jaylen Brown could be that guy as well. Kristaps Porziņģis is usually that guy as well. But getting off to these hot starts gets them nice and comfortable in the game, and really from the 3-point line as well. I'm gonna reiterate, being a threat from the 3-point line. They're making it, then you get the pump fake, and then you get to attack the paint, and then there's wide open space in the defense down low, which Cat is not good at doing. Jalen Brunson was a little bit banged up. They were able to attack him a little bit more. I wish they did it a little bit more. Came up a little bit hobbled. You kind of got to take advantage of a guy like that sometimes. That's just the game of basketball at a point. But I think that they really did have a great game plan going into today. Just rely on their 3-point shooting when it's open. Don't force too many shots and get into the paint and really get on the offensive boards, because those second chance points could really kill you like it has in the last 4 games. But this was a difference today. And if they play like this, Bruce, I might jump out of my chair, and you might not hear the end of it from me.
I don't blame you on that one, Patrick. The rebounding was a little bit of an issue earlier on with Porziņģis, but once they inserted Kornet right into that lineup, it was completely solved. And I think that's something that we're going to see with Joe Mazzulla kind of making these adjustments as we continue to go on in this series. That's been one of the critiques about Joe, as he hasn't been able to make the best adjustments so far. But tonight, he definitely stood up for that chance with bringing in Luke Kornet instead of Kristaps Porziņģis, and that definitely changed the course for the Boston Celtics, alongside Derrick White, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, Peyton Pritchard, all those guys contributing and helping out to bring the victory here for Boston. But ultimately, no one saw this coming, right? All the Celtics fans on Twitter had completely thrown us out of the window, potentially winning this series. Every other fan base had completely written off the Celtics, already saying Pacers versus Knicks, and guys, the Celtics are still alive. They got 1 game more to continue. And like Joe Mazzulla keeps saying, right, we're going to take this 1 game at a time. They took this game 1 game at a time, got the dub. Now they're on to the next game. And that's the mentality this team is going to continue to have. I can't wait to see what Jaylen Brown, Derrick White, Luke Kornet, and what everyone on this team can continue to bring out for the Boston Celtics as they continue on this path for the playoffs. But once again, thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode here alongside Patrick and I as we broke down this fantastic victory for the Boston Celtics and an incredible game for Luke Kornet. Patrick, I'm going to let you finish off with the final words tonight.
Hey.
Let's get it going.
Hey, shout out to Peyton Pritchard too. What a great game. But man, where my road dogs at? Where are my road dogs at in the comments, man? Drop those road dogs in the comments. This is the best road team in NBA history, and they're going to go into MSG, and they're going to get it done. Joe Mazzulla wants to get it done. They want to do it for JT, so let's do it for JT, and let's go Boston Celtics, man. Let's go Celtics. Come on, man. JT.
Let's go, baby. Thank you guys so much. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.